All right, Kenny D, just make sure you're in the.
What's good is?
Morning.
How are you?
Doing great, man. How are you?
I'm wonderful, man. You're not in jail, are you?
No, I'm not in jail.
It's called school, right?
I'm in school. Actually, yeah, I kind of am in jail. I just got off the phone with a parent who told me that he works at Planet Fitness and the kids adults have to wear their masks only when they're changing stations, but not when they're actually exercising. So his kid, for his safety, is not going to wear a mask while he's in my PE class. So that's not my decision. He's like, all right, well, call your principal and have her call me because this is not going to happen. Okay. Have a great day.
Fun time, right?
Man. Yeah, this stuff sucks. I'm done with it.
I hear you, man. Well, look, I'm glad you joined us via satellite today. I'm just going to explain how to market our life insurance products that we have through Family Heritage.
Okay.
First of all, we got two products. One being the Heritage Life Extra, which is marketable to anyone age 18 to age 70. Okay. Unique product, different than the average life insurance company. Then we also have the child whole life policies, which are new to our repertoire, and I think is simplified issue, real easy, and it's cheap. It's best to get people enrolled in life insurance while they're healthy and young. So first I'm going to talk about just the benefits on the Heritage Life Extra. It's really simple. Like if you ever sold off a brochure or just did your demo from the cancer, heart attack, and stroke, especially the heart attack and stroke or the accident policies. Mm-hmm. We don't get trained on them per se in Sales Academy. So you kind of on your own to figure out how to actually market that yourself. So this is same deal. So if you just got licensed or are gonna get licensed, order the brochures and everything and just get familiar with them, okay? But the life insurance sale it's really simple. Like you can actually add this to any demo, just like we do recruiting, okay? After you've done an approach and maybe not gotten anywhere, just adding in a simple line. How are you guys doing on life insurance? Okay. And that opens up a whole nother conversation after you maybe not been able to get a sit down for the cancer or any other supplemental policies. Our product is kind of unique because it has between the age of 18 and 55, there is a whole life base and there's a term rider. So it's a mix. It's not an either or deal. So on the brochure, it shows you it's 4 levels of coverage now. So it's a standard level, a preferred, elite, and an elite 100. The standard is a total face value of $25,000. Preferred is $50,000, elite is $75,000, and the elite 100 is $100,000. Okay, they just added that face value. I think it was the first part of this year, and which is huge because a lot of people want 6-figure life insurance policies. Okay. If you are age 18 to 55, you get the whole life term rider mix. And what happens is after 20 years, you actually get refunded the amount of money that you paid for the term part of the policy. So, Ty, can you hand me that real quick?
Which one?
Right on top. Yeah.
So the term policy has a return of premium?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it has a return of premium. So basically, when you look at these, this is actually the sheet that you use to pre-qualify and give a price. Okay, there's a height and weight, so they got to be within that height and weight. It tells you where on the front page. It tells you where you can send that business via mail. You can also fax this business in, and it gives you a phone number, the ESP phone call to call in order to get a phone interview going, and that way you actually get an approval on the spot.
Because every whole life policy has to have a phone call, right?
Every single adult policy has to have a phone call. Now, the child whole life is a different story. We'll get to that in a second. So on these pages, like this shows the standard premiums. So from age 18 all the way to 70, it shows you what the premium would be. Now, if you 18 to 55, you have two premiums. You have the whole life and you have the term. Now, after the 20 years, you get the term part back. Okay. So what happens?
Do they still pay the whole life? Or do they still pay the term after that, or does that term price drop off?
Nope. You the term price drops off. You can take your refund and buy what they call reduced paid up insurance if you want.
Yep.
Or you can just take your refund and do what you want to do with it.
But you still have
When you
the
say
whole
the
life.
term price drops off, all the price drops off, right? You don't pay for it anymore.
Just
Right.
the whole.
Absolutely.
You pay for
So-
the whole life still.
So I'll give you an example.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you pay
you
whole
still
life
pay
till
for the
100.
You
life.
keep paying for the whole life?
Up till 100 years old.
After 20 years?
It's two
Yeah.
Yeah.
policies.
So the whole life is permanent.
Yeah, I thought after 20 years, you have that $20,000 of whole life just paid up. It's already paid.
It ain't paid up though. You still
Okay.
as far now that's
The definition
That's
of whole
what I
life is that
understand.
the premium and the face value don't meet each other until 100 years old.
right. So, and that's how I understand it now. I'll call home office and
Okay.
clarify that.
Okay.
But if it were a paid up policy, then that would be in the contract. Correct. That it's paid up. There are companies that sell
Okay.
paid up policies that after 20 years or however many years it's paid up. And then you don't have a premium, and it's still a whole life permanent policy, but
That's like
that's a specific type of yeah. So that's a specific type of policy. These to my knowledge and are not that type. Okay, but I'll get clarification on that, you guys, and I'll touch base with you via email or something like that. So once that is refunded, you get that back, and you still have your whole life policy until you're 100 years old. Okay. At 100 years old, of course, you get paid the face value. Okay. Now, if you are age 56 to 70, you don't have the term rider mix. So if it's just whole life. So if you get the $100,000 Elite 100, then your face value is $100,000 until you're 100 years old or you pass away. Okay. So it's a simple process. When I first got licensed with life insurance, I actually sold enough between supplemental policies and life insurance to actually write an equal. I think I had a life insurance policy pinned, so I didn't actually have an equal at the end of it when everything settled. So just to kind of piggyback on what Todd said earlier about how many life policies he's going to write this week, this is just another thing in your.
So that all counts towards your weekly totals?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
wow.
Absolutely.
Does it count the same way, like 12-month gap, GAP? Is it similar?
Yeah, it's 12-month GAP, just like your health policies. Okay. Now when you got to have it in the home office and everything like that, it's slightly different. So everything
Friday at 8 a.m.
Friday 8 a.m. Eastern time is when you have to have all life business in order for it to count for this production week. Okay?
Gotcha. Is there can I ask a quick question? Is there physicals and stuff once you Like, what's the whole process for a person?
So it's no physical, and that's what I'm getting to here.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So that's what this page is for. Okay, it's no physical.
That's cool.
So if you and I don't know, Todd might have airdropped this to you guys, but
I'm going to.
Not yet.
Well, we're on the iPad.
okay. So the application,
I told you to do it.
This good.
the way you want to do this is just like initially, just like you would if you were closing a app with your supplemental policy. You get their information, all their personal information here. You ask them all of their health questions, okay, and this pre-qualifies you for that policy. All right, and then there's questions on the back, a few on the back there, and then you elect what amount of coverage they would want, and you tell them what the price is. And there's a $5 app fee, which is waived if you got two, if it's a husband or wife, or if you going to see a husband who's already a policyholder and the wife is getting insured, you can waive that $5 fee for her as well. But it's a $5 app fee for individual policy. Okay. So once you figure
Who
the
pays
price, the policyholder.
So their first draft, if it were $52, their first draft would be 57.
It's actually each is added to the price. So each month it's the same.
So there's a $5 monthly fee.
Well, it says policy fee,
Okay.
$5 policy fee must be added to all premiums. So I guess that's why it's every single month instead of just,
Okay.
I said app fee.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
All right. So let's just say we're writing a policy on Todd and he's 18 years old. Picture that. So for Todd, he's nicotine free,
Yes, sir.
I guess.
Not an 18.
We would pretend you are. So for Todd, he's nicotine free. His premium, his total premium with the term is $39 a month.
Is that for the 25? Which one is that?
That's for the 100
wow.
Elite 100. Okay, that's for 18-year-old Todd. $5 is added to that $39. So
Every
it's
month.
actually, yeah. So it's $44 is what you want to quote them the price to be.
Okay.
Is that for the first year, or is that?
That's the premium.
That's like what we learned in the test, guys. Where every month there's a management fee and a whatever.
I see.
That's part
So
of
at
what we
the end of
learned
the 20 years, when the term drops off, the return of premium is the 1150 times 12 times 20, which is the 2060.
Absolutely.
And then it just drops down to the 2750 a month plus the $5 fee.
That's what we're confirming.
Okay.
But yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Roger.
There you are. So
Hey, Todd.
Yes.
Hey, so I can't remember the guy's name, but somebody in South Carolina, I've spoken to once before who does life insurance, and he thought that $5 was only added on the very first payment. So I don't know if this has been verified, with central office or not, or if you know that absolutely for sure, but that's what that guy told me anyways.
from what I can remember, and I haven't noticed it not be on my commission statements after the fact. So, and that's why I'm kind of sure that it's gonna be added on.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
We'll look
So
into
I
that
think-
and confirm it today. But
Yeah.
Ken's been selling this product for a long time, so that's why he's talking.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
But yeah, so we can definitely double check that in the paid up question as well.
What are the questions? I might be able to step out and find out before.
The policy fee, is that just a one-time fee, or is it
Every month.
added on every month?
$5.
And then you had the whole life question band. In
Yeah,
20 years
after
is
20
everything paid
years,
up, which
everything
with
paid
whole
up.
life is usually done.
Hey, the term rider, it's optional, right? They don't have to get the term rider? Or they do?
That, to my
Yeah, you do.
knowledge, is
Yeah.
built in.
You do.
Okay.
So and so if you're 18 to 55, that's built in. Now, if you 56 to 70, it's not built in. You don't get a term right at all. It's not
Okay.
in all.
Okay.
So yeah. So if you're 56 and you get 75,000 on the elite level, then that's your face value forever. But
Okay.
if you're 40 and you get 75, 40,000 is permanent, and 35,000 term is the term part with the return rate.
Okay.
They have to do both policies.
Correct.
They can't say, I just want the 50,000.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Thanks.
You got it.
They just break it down so we know what they're going to get back. It's more of a sales, hey man, here's what you're going to get back after 20 years is this.
Right.
Well, and that's okay. So just to make sure that's clear. So you said they get their money that they've paid in. Let's say they got $20,000 in term, whichever level that is. So in 20 years, do they get back 20,000 or the amount of money that they paid in, or does that actually equal 20,000?
So it's a return of premium benefit. So it's just like
Right.
if you your cancer policy, it's all the premiums you paid in.
Only
Just
on
the
the,
money you paid in. Right.
Yeah.
Not the 20,000. It's whatever you paid in.
Right.
no. You only get the money back for the term portion of what you paid in. So if your payment's 50 and 30 goes to term and 20 goes to whole life, you get back the 30 a month, not the 20. The 20 still goes towards your whole life because it's still building cash value.
Yep. Got it.
Did I say that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So it really features two return, because you get, after 20 years, you get your term back, but your whole life stays, and it actually has value after that as well, if you ever.
Well, yeah, your whole life builds a cash value, so you could
You could cash both in if you wanted
cash
to.
it out. You could take a loan on it. You know, so just like any other whole life policy, it'll build cash value. So once you complete this application and you didn't get any yes answers on these questions, then it's likely that they'll qualify for the coverage. Okay.
And that has to be done on paper, is that correct?
Yes. At this point, this has to be done on paper, and hopefully they'll add it to the mobile app at some point soon. But right now it's on paper. So once you pre-qualify them, then that's when calling the phone number comes into play. And so if you have this is the beginning of the rate sheet. It gives you the height, weight chart and all that. So you've already filled out their height and weight on your application and all that. So you know they probably will qualify. And then you call this number here at ESP, and you have a conversation with an agent. When you call the number, it'll be simple, but you want to make sure everything's complete. They've signed the application, and everything. They figured out what level they want, and you checked all the right boxes and all of that. So when you get on the phone with the agent's gonna ask you some, all of those questions. And when they talk to the prospect, they're gonna ask them the same questions as well. Okay. Now, something that's really important when you call this number, you cannot coach your prospect during the call. If you coach them or if they hear you coaching them, then they'll decline the application. So if you, and this is a funny thing, I done this one time, and there was a lady, she had a fella that needed life insurance. She was like a CNA or something. He was kind of mentally unstable, but he wasn't crazy, but he could go off his rocker a little bit. So I was a little worried that he wouldn't be able to get through the interview. So I had a conversation with him before we got on the phone, and I said, listen, these are yes or no answers, no explanations, and so on and so forth, or whatever. And so when you get on, you want to be able to articulate whatever question they ask. You can't get frustrated because they ask you questions and all that stuff, because you get people like that sometimes.
Right.
And you know, if they get on there and don't do right, I had a guy go on the interview, and we were on a 3-way call with the interviewer, and he lied about whether he had life insurance in force already because he didn't want people in his business. Well, they didn't.
And
they
you knew?
Well, I didn't know until
you didn't know.
he said it on the phone. And so then when we got off the phone, the interviewer he had asked that question twice. So I was like, it's the reason why he's asking that question twice. So when I got off and the interviewer called me back, he said we had to decline him because, you know, he's got existing life insurance in force, but he said he didn't. And so that's something that small could.
Can they deny you because you have life insurance in force already?
Well, here's the deal. If you have life insurance in force, we cannot go in and say, buy our life insurance and cancel your life insurance. We can't do that legally, okay? So if they have existing life insurance in force, it has to be indicated. It's on the application. It's a question on the application, and it has to be indicated. And if they do have it in force and they wish to replace it, then that has to be indicated.
Or can they have two?
And they can have two. They can have as many.
But
as
it's
they
because
want.
he lied, really.
Well, it's because he was acting fishy about it. So it's like, I don't think it was that he had life insurance. I actually think it was that he had applied for life insurance in the last 12 months, and he said no, something like that.
So you can have multiple life insurance policies and there's no conflict.
Yeah,
I have 6 on my wife.
Yeah,
I just lose count.
yeah. So yeah, so just, you know, and you can tell when a prospect is intelligent enough to just that you ain't got to say that preliminary disclaimer before you make the call. But sometimes if somebody's acting a little weird, then you might want to just give them that disclaimer and say, look, you know, when you talk to this interviewer, like you can't ask me no questions.
Yeah.
I can't say nothing to you. You have to get through the interview without me. And it's simple, you know.
So basically the process is we sit down, if they want to get the coverage, if we say, hey, you know, how are you doing on your life insurance? Then we pull out based on their age, whatever it is. We fill the application out to completely have them sign it. Then we make a call to ESP and we bring ESP in, correct?
Right.
And they ask the questions. Once that goes good, then we bring it back and fax it in.
Right. So at the end of the call, they'll ask that to speak back to the agent. When you get on the phone, they'll say one or two things. They'll say, okay, so and so is going to be accepted nicotine free or nicotine rated. And you've already gotten the order number prior to them getting on the phone. So when they tell you that, and they'll explain to you that you need to fax it in or send it in to the home office within 10 business days. Even if it's declined, you have to do that. Okay.
So you got to keep it on file, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
So once that's done and you leave with their check, or you know, you got an ACH signature and you gave them a conditional receipt, once you leave and they have that, then they're basically covered as long as the policy was going to be issued if something were to happen to them before that.
So is the money set up just like it is on the other? It's totally set up on the.
So you said you can send in a check?
Yeah, and I'm saying this because I'm old school. This is how I.
No, I mean, some people want to write a check. So like,
yeah, so if somebody wants to write a check, then what you'll do is you'll either just send this in overnight through like FedEx or something like that, or you'll send the check in separate from the application, even though you faxed it in.
I still think the best way for us guys is ACH. You know what I'm saying? If you leave it onto them, man.
Yeah.
So they can do a monthly premium via check.
No.
Okay.
They
so
can pay the initial
They can
one
pay
via
the
check.
Initial via check.
and then it goes to ACH.
Right. So just like Todd just said, like when I went to Sales Academy, we were taught to ask for a check because we were doing paper applications and we weren't doing initial ACH, initial premiums on ACH. Okay. Now, 99.98% of our business is ACH on the initial premium. So I don't say anything about a check. I just go through the process. So y'all notice here at the top, if the initial premium is going to be ACH, you fill that out. You fill that out up here, and then you put in the bank information there, the day they want it to be due each month. They sign and date it there.
Those of you who've never, this is how we used to do. Every app had to be done like this.
Every app used to be like this.
So I got a business that the business owner wants to buy everybody, like buy $10,000 of life.
Which we don't sell. 25 is the lowest policy. you
Okay,
can buy.
25.
Yeah.
What is the route you have to go through that? Do you know?
The biggest.
Because I'm assuming I still have to sit down
So
with
he
every
wants
single
to do it
person.
through payroll.
I don't know how. We did his supplemental through payroll, so probably.
Okay. So that's part of that is going to be a home office question on doing it through payroll.
Yep.
But the only challenge I would see in that is I would tell them I have to pre-qualify everyone
Right.
that you're.
So sit down with them, fill out each form for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then for everyone that qualifies, just let them know they have to do a phone interview and let him know who qualifies. And then if the home office says it's okay to do that, payroll just like the other
That's gonna be
policies.
costly.
And
What's gonna happen?
I mean, that's gonna be costly. I mean, depending upon people's age, based on how much that's
Oh, I
gonna be a
know.
month. I mean, you get up there, even 25,000 for
yeah,
a dude who's 40 some years
Yeah,
old.
because- yeah, it's,
I'm okay with that.
it's not a work site deal. It ain't gonna be cheap.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
He said he wanted to pay for it, and it may go for just like with the supplemental. Everybody's up for their own; they can just do it through payroll. But that initially, he said he wanted to pay for it. So, but yeah, I mean that's something we're doing.
Is that the same HVAC company?
Yeah, 20 some thousand.
Yes. So.
Let's do that this week.
Sometime in the
right
next
now.
4 anyway.
Any
Guys,
other-
any questions
any
while we got Ken here? Liam, even though you're not licensed right now, man, I'm telling you, man, 5 years, never licensed now, and they're coming out with a new product, but this is something else. And I've had people calling me, guys, left and right about life insurance lately, and I'm not sure why, but.
How many people ask you about life insurance in a week?
I mean, whenever I group presentation, I always check that.
I'd say 70-80% of the guest cards I get back, they check life insurance also.
Yeah, so I'd say get your life insurance license. I got my health license first, and then because everybody was asking me, and I knew somebody that sold life insurance, and I would say, hey, go, I would pass them referrals to him. Even though he gave me a referral fee, I was like, I know he's making way more money than he's giving me on that.
Yeah.
So I went and got my life license, and I sold probably 5 life insurance policies the first week. So get your life license, man, because
How long does the phone interview take?
What do they ask?
maybe 15 minutes at most.
Are they asking the same questions that you just filled
They
out?
ask the
Pretty much?
same questions you ask on here. So they're gonna ask you when you get on the phone. They're gonna ask you, here's a phone call. Hey, this is Ken with Global Life Family Heritage Division. I got a life insurance applicant for the Heritage Life Extra. Then the interviewer will he'll ask you a couple questions. They ask you your agent number. They ask you the name, birth date, age, and stuff like that of the applicant. A couple other questions. Then he'll ask you if you filled out the application completely, if everything was signed of stuff like that. Okay. Once he's asked all that, then he'll ask to speak to the applicant. So you just pass the phone to the applicant, or you can do this remotely. So you can say they're on the line, and then they'll
So you can
start-
fill out a life insurance policy over the phone.
How do they sign?
They have, when we did over the quarantine, we did RSVP,
Mhm.
so you can do it that way. But choose the paper app option. Okay, and so you have to go back to that email that shows what our protocol.
So it's better
is
just to
on
sell it to people that we see in person.
that. Yeah, and I mean, not necessarily, because if you use the RSVP, I did this over quarantine, and I signed. You can sign their name with their permission, and all you do is you send them an email, and they type agree and send it back to you, just like we did when we were doing Zoom calls. So if push comes to shove, and that's how you need to do it, then just do it that way. And just know how to complete that RSVP process. Otherwise, say you sit down with somebody on a Saturday and they want life insurance, and you go through all the questions and they pre-qualify, you can't get a ESP agent on the phone on a Saturday. So what you do is you call and you leave a message. And I sent you in that email, it's actually, now you airdrop the names, right?
It's all on my iPad, so as soon as we get done, I will.
Okay, so in the manual, page 8 actually gives you the protocol on how you do that sale on the phone. So it'll tell you, do the application XYZ, whatever, and it'll tell you exactly what to do.
Because you got to call ESP and leave a message.
Right. So it'll tell you what to leave on the message and everything. Okay. And then you basically leave your name, agent number, time, applicant's name, best time to call them back, and you can leave with their money. And Monday, that the ESP agent calls them, completes the interview, and they call you and say, we accepted them XYZ. You can send that in that app, and it's a done deal.
So we wait to send it in until we've heard from the ESP person that they've been accepted.
Yeah.
Or if the person says denied, do we still send it in?
You do send it in. You just gotta put void on it, and then send.
What
it.
about the check? Just give it
You
back to
give
the
them
person.
back the check.
Okay.
If you got.
We don't want the
You
check.
can't pocket it.
Can't pocket it.
Darn. So, guys, I would encourage you to do this. Look over the application. Know the application before you sit down with somebody, because the last thing you want to do is look like an idiot and A, have to go back, B, have to be like, no, that part wasn't filled out, and then you jacked it all up, and maybe you've messed up a sale, and then maybe they look at it and go, you know what, screw this, man. It's taking way too much time, and it's too hard. Be familiar with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I lost back in 2010 or something like that. I lost a sale. Maybe it was 2009. I lost a sale because somehow, and I don't know if it was him or me, but somehow I got his birth date wrong. And so the premium was wrong. So when I sent it in, it got flagged and pended, and I had to go back. And he was upset about it. And so he said, take that life insurance and shove it up your ass.
Nice.
So I said, okay, cool.
Which is uncomfortable.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, be familiar with it. We write most of our apps on our iPads and electronic devices. I got all this stuff downloaded, even the application, because I don't tote a briefcase anymore to every single stop. I just tote my my device.
Yeah.
But if somebody asks about life insurance, I can go to my car and get an application and fill it out and get it done. Okay. So I have all this stuff. Yeah.
Where is the application? Like, where do we download it from?
You order it on the internet, or on the company website, Izzy, just like you did your brochures.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's far right column.
Now also you can click on the link where you order it at, and you can print them too. So if you ever run into a situation you don't have any on hand, you can print them and any other forms that you need related to that.
All right.
Okay.
2 questions. quick.
Mhm.
There is a double indemnity, basically an accidental death rider that we can add, and then there is a child
Yeah.
rider that we can add as well.
Mhm.
That is only to the whole life policies, correct? Or is that to the child whole life and the other one, or just the adult there?
That's just the adult. Okay, so you can add the accidental death benefit, $8 added to any of these levels of coverage, and it doubles the face value if you're deceased in the accident. Okay. The child whole life is for anyone age 15 days to 23 years old, and it's a $10,000 term rider for a child. Okay, that can be added to any of these face values. And
How
it's
much
only
is that?
$4
Oh.
to add it. Okay.
So if you have a policy, then you can add a minor child or up to 23 for $10 for
Yeah.
10,000.
Yeah.
Or
I didn't
$4
realize
for
it.
10,000.
$4, yeah,
Sorry.
for 10,000.
And is that term for 20 years?
That term is I believe it's 20.
And it's just a box you check.
Yeah,
On the
you just
application.
check the box so you don't have to answer any questions about the child or anything like that. I believe that term is 20 years. Yeah, it's got to be 20.
Is that money returnable after 20 years, Kenny D?
And that money is not returned after 20 years.
Okay. But $5, man.
So, like today,
$4.
I don't have my stuff yet. If I print off like 3 of these, that's the only thing I need. The application.
I would print 3 of those and 3 of these, the replacement form.
That's if it's replacing something.
Yeah,
But what if it's not replacing something? You just have it instead of or alongside of?
you just if it's not, then what happens is you check yes, they have it. They have it. Life insurance in force already, and then you check no on this form that say they're not gonna replace it with this policy.
Is that on the same marketing material?
Yep, it's in there.
What if you don't have the contract or policy number? Like, I mean, I don't know the policy number for my life insurance policy.
They can call and get it if they know the life insurance company. They can call.
So if you filled that out on me right now,
Mhm.
would I have to fill that sheet out? If you said to me, do you have other life insurance? I said, yes, I have a policy with this company for X amount. Do I have to fill that form out?
Only if you're
It says
replacing it.
If you answer yes to either of the above questions, list each existing policy or contract you are contemplating replacing. So these 2 questions. So the question is on the application: do you have existing? Does the proposed insured have the existing life insurance policy in force,
Yes.
or annuity contracts? If it says does, it says if the applicant has existing life insurance or annuity contracts in force, I have provided the applicant with the pertinent replacement form. So even if they have it and aren't replacing it, you still have to fill out the form, because on this form it'll ask, are you gonna replace it? And it's no. And then are you considering using funds from the policy to fund this policy? And then you say no. But if you answer yes to those questions, then you have to provide that information.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you say no, then you don't have to provide policy number and stuff like
Right. Right.
Okay, okay.
But you do have to have the form signed.
that. All these forms, Izzy, are on the website.
Yeah. If you go in on the website under the life insurance, you can get all these forms there. You want to see it?
Yours is 2-sided. Mine's on 1-sided.
It's probably 2-sided because I printed it out from my home.
No, it's just only 1 page.
There's not a second page of it.
I think it's 2 different ones because
It looks different.
yours is not the same.
That could very easily be older.
Hold on one second. I've got 6 agents here that were doing some training on the life product and wanted to ask you just a couple of quick questions, and there might even be a couple more. But the first question is, the $5 policy fee that we pay on when a person enrolls?
Yeah.
Is that part of every month's premium or just the first month?
Every month.
Okay, so $5 policy fee is part of every payment. The other question is, when a person pays for it for 20 years, and then my understanding is if they don't die, then the term portion of it falls off, and they are left with 20 years of whole life coverage, correct?
No, after 20 years, the return of premium, the rider falls off, and then they're left with a whole life base to age 100.
Gotcha. So they keep paying their premium on the whole life base, right, until they're 100?
Right, the whole life coverage ends at age 100, and that time it will provide a maturity payment equal to the total face amount of the whole life insurance. That's in the brochure too. So
Okay, cool. So if they make it to 100, then they would have $20,000 of coverage that's then paid up until they die.
correct, right.
All right, perfect. Were there any other?
They would have however many years of coverage that was paid up. So if they got it when they were 40 and they lived to 100, it'd be 60 years of payments at that rate. Either way, it matures at 100. Yes.
Were there any other questions,
The
guys?
whole life coverage, it ends at age 100. So if they die, obviously when they're, God bless them, if they live to 100, at that time, they'll get a maturity payment equal to the total face value of the whole life insurance policy. So whatever that whole life insurance policy total was. And this is if they make it to age 100.
Gotcha.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. If, oh my God, I just lost that question. Ken asked something. I just totally forgot my question. It just left my mind.
The replacement form.
Oh, yeah, the replacement form. If I already have life insurance, I have a term life insurance plan, I'm not going to replace it. I just want to add to it with this. Do I still need to fill out the replacement form as well?
Yes, you do. It's for legal purposes. But if they answer yes to that question and it says on the application, if yes, complete a replacement form, you would still have them complete it. You both would sign it. And if it makes them feel any more comfortable, they can write on there not replacing. But we still need one filled out.
What if they don't know the policy number of that policy that they're not replacing? Do they need that?
Right. No, if they're not replacing the policy, they don't need to put all the information. And like I said, that's why they can just put the name of the company on there if they wanted. And then they still, like I said, need to sign it. But if they're not replacing anything, we don't need details like the policy number or things like that.
Cool.
And again, if it makes them feel more comfortable, they can put not replacing. It's just a legal thing that we need just so we can come back and say, they might say, oh, well, I told you I wanted, I was going to replace it. Because all we would do if they were actually replacing it, we just reach out to their current insurance company and say, hey, look at, they just took a policy out with us, just kind of give them a heads up. But yeah, it still needs to be completed regardless if they're replacing it or not.
Cool. Thank you.
And
Awesome.
it will pen. The application will pen if it's not received.
Thank you. Guys, any other questions while we got the most knowledgeable person in the company on about life?
Yeah, one more. The term for the child rider on the Heritage Life Extra, is that 20 years?
Well, it depends on when the child takes it out. So it is from ages 15 days to 23 years old. So once the child reaches 23, it'll fall off. So if they have it for, if they get it when they're 20, once they turn 23, so it's not like a 20-year. Just again, it depends on what age
Just term until they're 23.
the rider is taken out.
But that rider is not return of premium, correct?
Correct. It's not return premium.
Cool. Thank you.
Margaret, I think that gets us all squared up. Thanks so much for your help. We definitely appreciate it. Hey, by the way, what is your direct line there at the office?
You would call, hold on 1 second, 440-922-5275.
5275 for Margaret. Okay.
Hey, Margaret, I do have one more question.
Okay.
Faxing these in to new business, we can fax these to the same line we do our supplemental policies, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Mm-hmm. Yep, 844, yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure, no problem. You guys
Margaret,
take care.
what's your last name? I'm sorry.
Last name is McGowan.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your help today. Have a great day. Happy Founders Week.
Same to you. You take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Take care. You too. Bye-bye.
All right.
Sweet.
Izzy, any questions for Ken?
Nope, that's it. You guys, that's the same questions I had, so that was perfect.
Great.
Well, Izzy, it does negate that girl you were dating, because at 4'7", the cutoff is 162 pounds.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
You got to kick her. You got to kick her to the curb.
I'll take care of that this afternoon.
Can't get any coverage on her. Hey, just one last thing. The child whole life is much simpler to do. I mean, this is like once you get familiar with the Heritage Life Extra, it's not complicated, but this is much simpler because all you have to do is fill out the application, ask the questions, and if they qualify with the questions that you ask, then you just sign it, pick the where they're gonna pay and all that, and then you just fax it in.
And a parent can pay for the child. You don't have to. Hello, this is Izzy. So you don't have to have the child present. Like if I'm going to get it for my son, well, my son's 19, so I'm going to have him be there because they're going to have to ask him those questions, and my daughter. But like my 15-year-old daughter, if I'm going to do one on her, they're not going to call and talk to her over the phone. They don't need to do anything.
No phone interview whatsoever when it comes to that application.
Okay.
So it's simple.
So let you know, the North Carolina form is different than South Carolina. That's why it looked different.
Oh.
That's a different.
That's the
North Carolina form is completely different.
Try the soup.
And then also, so you're faxing these or sending them overnight or whatever. You use the Life New Business transmitter. You can't use a regular transmitter sheet.
And there's a child whole life, and there's a family heritage, or sorry.
Yeah, you got it. So all of this is on the website. So I would encourage everyone to just go on the website. Some of the stuff, if you don't have it, just download it to your device. Something like this, you can just print out when you need it. You don't necessarily got to get them to send it to you. If you want the brochures to be able to leave behind, definitely order that stuff. But just have everything accessible, especially this rate sheet and everything. There's a few pages to that. So just have it downloaded to your devices.
Yeah, I just screenshotted each one of them and put it into a own folder in my photos.
Okay. So yeah, if you got that on hand, somebody asks you about it, you can say, yeah, we sell life insurance, and you can just move right to that. And if they want to buy it, all you gotta do is go out to the car and get the application.
What if they can't do the call right then? What if they're like, hey man, like we're in a daycare and kids are screaming and hooting and hollering?
Hey,
Go lock yourself in the closet.
no big deal. What time tonight can we do the call? You can call Monday through Thursday. You can call ESP up to 9:00 p.m. Central Time, which is 10.
Oh, cool.
Eastern
So that's
time.
good for okay. That's good.
Okay. So Monday through Thursday is free game. Like all week long, you can just book late appointments to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On Fridays, 8 to 5 Central. But then on Saturday, there's no one there. Okay. So you have to call and leave that message. So if somebody says they can't do it right then, just say, hey, what's the best time to do the phone interview? And if you can, just get them to go ahead and fill out the application, give you the account information and everything. So you've already pretty much closed the sale. And then all they have to do is complete the interview.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Anything else is?
Nope, I'm good. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, brother, I'm gonna end it. We'll talk about it here, but if you need something, call me or Ken or whatever. Call Ken, best bet.
Sweet. Hey, power out for them kids, man.
Kenny, what's your phone number?
252-497-2776.
Okay. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. See you guys.
All right,
got it.
thanks, is.
All right.
Later, brother.
All right. Bye.
Later, boy.